Some people say, the 90s were the last great decade. No doubt, it was a simpler time without the internet, and without smartphones. Here are the top 10 things you might miss about the 90s. Number 10, coins. In the 90s, people carried coins around in their pockets. Coins could be used to pay for the bus, to make a call on a public phone, get snacks from a vending machine, play a song on the jukebox, or play an arcade game. Today, coins are practically worthless and have been replaced by cards or phones. Number 9, the video store. Before Netflix, before streaming, movies were rented from a video store like Blockbuster. Renting a movie was an experience, a physical activity that involved walking around the store and making hard decisions on what VHS tape to take home. So many interesting movies to choose from, and in the 90s, there was more comedy than today. Number 8, letters and postcards. Before email, before text messaging, people who were distanced communicated with real handwritten letters, which felt quite personal. If you were traveling as a tourist, it was customary to send postcards to family and friends. Number 7, landline phones. The general public did not have cell phones in the 90s. Most people memorized a few important phone numbers, and were forced to use a regular landline phone to communicate. Without internet, commercial numbers were found in the yellow pages. Not being connected 24 hours a day, some might say, was a good thing. Number 6, 90s technology. Photography in the 90s was analog, and required a camera and a roll of film. It took a few days to get the photos developed, and they were stored in a photo album for posterity. Music was played on cool mini-component systems. They played CDs and cassettes, and some had CD changers. CDs offered a high-quality sound, on a small and durable disc. The Discman was a way of taking your music CDs on the road. And the Walkman was still around in the 90s as well, playing old cassettes and mixtapes. Cassettes were also of great use for the car, especially on long trips. Number 5, music megastores. The 90s were the heyday of music megastores like Tower Records. There was no streaming or downloading, music was only bought on CDs, and people happily spent hours in the store going through the albums, movies, and books. Number 4, talented musicians. In the 90s, there was an explosion of grunge and alternative music. There seemed to be more variety, more quantity, and more quality of music. There were also many female singer-songwriters in the spotlight. There was trip-hop and shoegaze from Britain. There was electronic music, there was new age, world music, and so much more. Number 3, cool movies and good TV. In the 90s, we had interesting movies with no special effects, and no superheroes. And on TV, we also had a great selection of awesome shows. And late-night talk shows were still fun and entertaining. Number 2, compact discs ruled the day. Here are my top 10 CDs to own from the 90s. CDs came with interesting album art, booklets, and information, something Spotify could never provide. And their sound quality is about 4 times better than streaming. And finally we reach number 1. If you're a baby boomer, a member of Generation X, or a millennial, in the 90s, you experienced a time of economic stability, low inflation, and growth. Pizza Hut pan pizza, in the 90s, was still a high-quality delicacy. In 1993 we spent countless hours playing Doom, which was ahead of its time. Computers, however, are definitely better in the 2020s. In the 90s, prog rock was making a comeback. What do you miss about the 90s? Let me know below, hit like and subscribe.